means boom time again for Swindon. The campaign to curb summertime drinkers. And after that Lynham crash, how necessary is low-level flying. Good evening. It would certainly be one of the biggest sporting surprises if tomorrow morning Glenn Hoddle didn't join Chelsea Football Club as manager. It now looks certain he'll leave Swindon. The club's called a press conference tomorrow morning, half an hour before Chelsea are set to announce their new manager. For the Swindon fans, it comes just as they savour the success of long-awaited promotion. Their team, after being kicked out of top-flight soccer 3 years ago, have now achieved their goal. And it's brought predictions of a rekindled boom for the town itself, once the jewel in the crown of high-tech industries. Firms are saying that Premier League status for their football team will put Swindon back on the map. So what are the spin-offs for the Swindon club, local companies and the townspeople themselves? And can the county ground cope with the big time? Linda Gummery reports.
Come true for us, and this time they can't take it away from us. Let's go!
Swindon Town is about the greatest football team that ever walked the earth.
As soon as you start to think about things, you realise you'll be going to Old Trafford and Anfield and playing against all the top players in the country. So it makes you a bit nervous, but it's something we've strived for a long time here, and we're delighted to finally make it.
From the spot for Swindon. He scored!
Celebrations in Swindon have already been going on for 4 days. The boost in morale and confidence in the town is likely to continue for much longer. The town's been united by the team's success.
If you actually saw the crowds that were here on Monday evening as we came back from Wembley, that's the impact that it has. It has everybody buzzing in this town, and it happened last time, and I think it's happened to a greater degree this time, that people want to be involved, and that's what we want, of course, people to be involved.
For the team's main sponsor, Burma Petroleum, the promotion has delighted them. Since the club's success at Wembley, they've been inundated with calls from companies anxious to get involved in sponsoring the team. The success of the club has given new hope to the people of Swindon and the business community.
I guess at the macro level, it's going to make people feel very confident. I guess I would see it as Swindon Town's success over the weekend being the catalyst for what can happen in the town. You know, from a football level, the gates alone will go up 40%, we estimate, next season. That has a knock-on effect on many people, not just shops, but also the railway, the buses, the taxis. Many people will benefit from it.
What do you expect to happen to the town? Do you think it will really take off? Will business take off?
Oh, I think so. I think anywhere where you get a general confidence level that rises as dramatically as it has since Swindon have achieved Premier Division football, then yeah, business will pick up, no question.
Swindon was known as the boom town of the 1980s, with major companies such as Intergraph and Honda moving to the area. The recession has had its impact on the town, but the Chamber of Commerce claims it's not been as great as elsewhere in the country due to the attraction of Swindon's location. A special project's underway aimed at launching Swindon into the 21st century, with improvements to the town centre and business areas. They're confident of new growth, some of it as a result of Swindon Town moving to the Premier League.
Well, it's splendid news as far as the business community is concerned, because it will show Swindon in a different light. It will put Swindon on the map. It will create an extra dimension for Swindon. And then really it will make Swindon that bit easier to sell to companies who are thinking of relocating. It has effects on the whole quality of life, and if one's got a happy business environment, then it's reasonable to assume that productivity goes up and competitiveness goes up.
Plans for policing the extra fans expected is already under discussion. The numbers visiting Swindon Town are likely to increase by 40% if other teams' success after promotion is anything to go by. When Notts County were promoted to the then First Division, the average gate receipts went up by £500,000. But for Swindon it could be more, because when Oldham Athletic were promoted, they saw an increase of 71%. Wiltshire Police are confident they can cope with the new demands being made on them.
There's a lot of planning work to do, but I don't anticipate having to have many more officers here than we have for the last season. It's obviously going to be a bit easier because we will anticipate the number of people attending because there will be greater sales of season tickets. And I would anticipate when we play the bigger clubs like Liverpool and Manchester United, the matches will be all ticket anyway. So before the match starts, I will know how many people are travelling to the town.
Club officials have a busy few months ahead of them. £1.5 million needs to be spent on the Shrivenham Road stand. A new one's planned, but not in time for next season. Regardless of the state of the terraces, Swindon fans are proud of their team's achievement.
Absolutely delighted, and I'm sure I speak for just about everyone who's ever had anything to do with Swindon Town. I mean, 3 years ago we went up and came quickly back down for all the wrong reasons. Now we're there, we're going to stay there, and I hope we can make a decent fist of it.
The events of 3 years ago almost shattered the club. Swindon Town were demoted and fined due to tax-free handouts given to players.
Arising out of today's proceedings, the Management Committee of the Football League will be recommended to set up a further commission to consider charges against a number of present and former directors, officials and players of the club. 4, that Swindon Town Football Club be demoted by 2 divisions, i.e. to the 3rd Division as of season 1990-91.
Manager Lou Macari was cleared in court. Chairman Brian Hillier was jailed for a year. It was reduced to 6 months on appeal. And former accountant Vince Farah received a 6-month suspended sentence. The past has for many made the success this time even sweeter.
3 years ago, I remember marching around the town in protest against what the Football League had done, and there are varying estimates of 25 to 40,000 people who joined in that march. That was, I think, one of the most emotional days that I'd ever experienced in football. I think there's a great feeling that an injustice has been righted, and of course the feeling that we all desperately want Glenn Hoddle to stay with Swindon Town.
Well, it gives people added pride, doesn't it? I mean, before when you said you came from Swindon, people would look rather quizzically at you, but now you can say Swindon, we've got a Premier League team. It's given people an extra sense of purpose.
Swindon Town from the old 4th Division. Now he will lead them into the Premier League.
I think there are lots of people willing to help the club, and without being cynical, I think it's good news. I think this has made people jump into what is going to be a successful time for Swindon Town, the club, and hopefully the town.
When Ipswich were promoted to the Premier League last year, business in the town boomed. Everyone in Swindon's aiming for the same goal. They're hoping for success for both the town and the club.